Lisa.
I'm Eden.
And I'm Jade.
And you are a budding young actor, soon to be seasoned pro. There is a lot to learn if you want to become a great actor. In fact, it can take many years until you master the craft. There is much more than just standing in front of the camera and saying your lines. So that's why we're here, to help you get started, get you more informed, more confident, so that you can go out into the world and begin acting as a long-term career. We will cover topics such as
the history of acting,
How to begin working as an actor,
advice on being professional and safe,
study options to become an actor,
the career possibilities for actors,
and what the life of an actor is really like.
This is Creative Kids Become an Actor! Look out for interviews with industry professionals where we have gathered only the best advice, throw in some fun facts and serious rules, and you are ready to go to your first acting gig.
The first question is, what do you love about acting?
I love that it gives you the freedom to feel, to experience your emotions in a safe environment, because out in the big bad world, a lot of the time society will tell you that being emotional, or especially for a guy, emotions or crying is weak, which it's not. It's not weak at all. And if you do feel like that, regardless out in the open, when you're in an environment like an acting studio or shooting a scene, you have freedom to feel, and it's just a really nice release.
A good actor is someone that you look at and you say, wow, that's good, I believed it. And by the time you get in your car from the film or from the play, you're talking about, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? That's a good actor. That's most of it, let's say. A great actor, you're not thinking about what they're doing. You can't think of anything. They've just punched you in the stomach, and you go home and you feel bad for the character and you go, oh my God, that was poor person, poor. They completely wipe you away. It is very, very difficult to get to what that we call the top 2%. To get to that level of work takes a lot of work, and you can't plan on it. You can't say, I'm going to be great today. You just go there and you aim for certain things, and you take, less is more, less acting, more being in the moment. Very difficult to get there.
Firstly, a little history of acting. When and how did this art form of pretending first come about, and how has it changed over the centuries? The first actor I've been able to find lived in 6th century BC in ancient Greece. His name was Thespis, which is where we endearingly get the term thespians. After Greece, the Romans got into acting, and they used masks and over-the-top actions to tell the story. By the second half of the 1500s, which was the Elizabethan era, the masks were gone, but the grand arm gestures stayed. This is also when the famous playwright Shakespeare lived.
Did you know Elizabethan actors didn't rehearse? Before each actor said their line, someone with the script would call it out to them off stage.
Yes, that's right. And did you also know that during Shakespearean times you had to have a license to be an actor?
Today it's no different. In most countries, actors need to belong to an actors union, like Screen Actors Guilds in America or MEAA in Australia.
After Shakespeare, more forms of acting emerged. These include vaudeville, musical theatre, and improvisation. You can also search for silent films if you look up Charlie Chaplin on YouTube. In the early half of the 1900s, there was a Russian man called Stanislavski who invented the Stanislavski System, also known as method acting, which was to make actors' performances extremely believable in a way that they had never been before.
That's right, Lisa. If you go to an acting class today, then they'll most likely be teaching some form of method acting called the Stanislavski System, even though he lived a long time ago.
It's such a strange job, don't you think? Pretending to be other people, living other lives. Why would anyone want to do that?
It sounds kind of funny. I mean, I know how little kids do a pretend play. My little brother does it. He pretends he's a spaceman. But adults playing pretend, that's kind of funny.
Well, guys, actors actually have a really important job. I mean, when we're feeling sad and we want to cry, we're watching a funny movie, acting could just make us laugh. Or if we're feeling really romantic and sweet, we can watch a love story and go, If we're feeling curious and adventurous, we can watch a movie about going right out into space or backwards in time.
It's really hard to imagine that centuries ago, before Shakespearean times, that actors were punished and beaten for crimes they didn't even commit.
Watching actors is like reading a really good book, don't you think? Because you can see how the characters change along the journey and you see what they react to all the different experiences. And it's just amazing to see what people are like, being other people, living other lives on different places on the planet.
When you look at it like that, actors have a pretty special talent. It's hard to imagine that once upon a time, centuries ago, actors were considered so low that they were actually punished for crimes that they didn't even commit. You know that there is so many stories in the world, and actors help us not just see them or imagine them, but really feel them and experience them as though we were the characters.
You know, with the way technology is going today, I bet any day now, you'll be able to go to the cinema and actually step inside the film. What a great way to meet your favourite movie star.
Cool!
See, the hardest part of being an actor is trying to be believable, especially when you're trying to be someone like really, really, really older than you, or you're trying to be someone who's like really different to you.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what the Stanislavski System was designed for. It's a way to make your acting be extremely believable. And most actors keep training and they keep studying their entire life. There's a little saying that it says, it takes 10,000 hours to make a great actor. So, start practicing!
I think the most important thing about acting in general is to be truthful to the character. So first and foremost, I think to be truthful in your own voice with the character is paramount. And then as you expand your acting talents and your acting toolbox, then absolutely engaging in other accents is, very worthwhile for the actor and expanding their career.
There is a general process that actors go through when preparing for a role.
And Eden is going to show us an example of getting into character. Eden, are you ready?
Okay. Well, what happened was I wanted to play the role of an old man, so I went down the street and I spoke to an old man. His name's John, okay? And so I asked him what he wears, how he thinks, and how he speaks. So how I'm speaking now is how he speaks, and what I'm wearing now is what he wears, and that is called getting into character.
You look quite sick, Eden. Would you like to see? No? Very touch. Very grumpy. Yes. I love this costume. I absolutely love what you've done. And I love that you spoke to a specific person instead of just looking on the internet. So what are some other ways that you can get into character?
Well, I know you can try to, walk around like your character all day.
Yeah. Or maybe you could practice talking in their accent or even eat the foods that they eat. What are some other ways that you can think of to get into character?
What do you think is the difference between acting for the theatre and acting for screen?
Okay, in screen we have what's called a frame. So this camera that's shooting us now, there's a framework in that. So actors have to work within that frame. And so television directors and film directors, they work within a framework, so everything's structured around that idea. Whereas in theatre, we have a frame in a sense. When you have a stage, you've got a stage. But like in this outdoor production, we can be anywhere we like. There's no frame. We can float down from the clouds if we want. Well, we can't really do that, can we? But that's basically the difference. Acting technique, perhaps with a camera, is you have to be a little bit more subdued. You can't be as big as you can be in theatre. In theatre, you can be much more robust and lively and physical. It's difficult to do that on film and TV because cameras are so slow and camera operators are so silly.
I think they have to be real, they have to be energetic, they have to project, all that sort of stuff, but it should come from somewhere that's real. And I think if you look at really good Hollywood musicals, you'll see that they are very realistic. I mean, Les Mis, they're very, passionate about what they're doing, and the emotion's got to be there, because to me that's art, I mean, if you feel emotionally connected with what you're seeing, it'll keep coming back to you afterwards, and that's what makes it really great. But anyway, so the struggle is how to do that, whether it be for the screen or the stage. If you get a production where the actors are trained American style, it's like watching a TV film, a show, or a movie. But they're on stage in front of us, and you get there and you care about the people. So the question is, do I care? If you get someone who can play a role in Shakespeare which is very truthful, people are going to care about them, and that's what we producers want. I want to hire you, the actor, because people are going to care about you, and they'll pay me to come and see you. You understand? So that's the trick. How do you make them care?
When performing on a stage or on screen, there is a serious side. Your producer and director need to give out a set of rules to make sure everything runs smoothly and no one gets upset or hurt. Oh, and make sure no equipment gets damaged.
Oh, I know what you're thinking. Rules, rules, rules. Yes, there are rules, but they don't just apply for kids. They also apply for adults. So listen up, all you thespians. Turn up on time. It's rude to keep everyone waiting. Know where the camera cabling and other equipment is. Stay away from it where possible. Don't run, ever. Ask to leave the set. No quiet on set means be silent and pay attention. No action means the camera is recording. No cut means recording has stopped. Once cast, actors may not change their appearance in any way without permission from the director or producer. Let the directors direct. It's not your job to tell other actors what to do. Making a film or putting on a play is a team process, so you have to be one of the team. Focused on a common goal, which is to make a great film, stage or TV show.
Learn your script. Rehearse. Always say yes. Don't block. Focus on making the other actor look good. Keep offering new ideas and build on the scene. Use your technique. Don't just say your lines. Read plays. Observe people. Keep asking, why does my character do that? And find the reason. You can make mistakes in rehearsal, but be prepared when it's time for the show. Listen to the other actor, what they say and what they do, and respond. Keep healthy and look after your voice and body. Learn a way to relax when you're nervous.
So now you know the rules, and you've prepared thoroughly to get ready for your role. Now it's time to just forget everything. Forget all the rules, forget all the work that you've done. Just trust in yourself, trust in your fellow actors that you're going to work in a team, and just listen and respond. Now we all know that actors study acting, but did you know that they also study other skills such as voice work if they want to work in cartoons or the radio? Or if they're going to play a role in, say, a basketball, they'll actually have to go out and learn how to play some basketball. Or maybe even stunt work to learn how to do crazy things safely. There are different skills needed if you want to be a stage actor or, say, a TV presenter.
That's right, Lisa. Even Australia's biggest acting schools like VCA, WAPA, NIDA, where Hugh Jackman went, have singing, dancing and voice programs.
Hey guys, did you know that actors can be found at like the most strangest places, like clowns at your birthday party, or like people in dress-ups at like Disneyland or somewhere like that?
When looking for an acting school, ask them what kind of method they teach, and then go and actually read the books from the people that invented those methods, like Stella Adler, Ivana Chubbuck, Stanford Miser, or Lee Strasberg. Let's hear from someone that knows a little bit about these methods and has trained over in the US of A.
What is method acting?
Okay. Method acting, I'll keep this answer as brief as I can, was developed by a man named Lee Strasberg, who has the school. He was one of the early founders of the group theater, which became the Actor Studio. Method acting, they do a whole bunch of exercises, starting with one called the coffee cup, and which makes you focus on certain things that you have to recreate. And from those things, without us wanting to, without us planning to, all these emotions and things happen, right? And we don't do it to get emotional. It's not about that. We do it so that the body itself is able to respond to what they call imaginary things, right? It has to do with also what they call affective memory. You know, you touch the dog collar and you remember your dog, all that kind of stuff, okay? And there's a method to it. There's a procedure to it.
For Australians, for anyone who doesn't carry a US passport, which is very difficult to get, you firstly need a visa to work there. So I guess, you know, it comes down to already having a body of work in the country that you're from. So if you've done a play or a TV series or even a kids show, then you are more likely to be able to get a visa. The other option is that you can absolutely go and train in any country. So you can go and train in America, in Los Angeles, in New York, with lots of really established and well-known teachers, and they're all available to you, to further your career. Training is really one key thing that every child, every actor, even if they are a seasoned actor, they need to maintain the training.
So, Bobby, you run a lot of workshops helping actors control their career.
Yeah.
What is a piece of advice that you think would help actors that not many of them will know about?
I'd say three very important things to promote yourself through some type of show. In other words, most people think, oh, I hope someone picks me to be in their movie or their TV show. That's like going to play sport at school, and I hope someone picks me. There's only 10 people on the team, and you're the 11th person. Yes. Well, why not create your own team? Why not organize some of your friends? Doesn't matter whether you're 8 or 12 or 15, organize your friends and create your own show, create your own film or TV series. That way, you get to control what you do, whether it's write or present or act. And you're speaking about actors. That way, you're guaranteed to be able to act and get yourself on film. There'll always be the one kid that wants to be the cameraman.
Yes.
And he's usually the one that'll find a way for his mom or dad to get him a camera or her the camera, which is great. So you promote yourself by creating your own stories. Write a story or take a story that you love from school and go ahead and film it. Don't wait for anybody. Just do it yourself.
So when you're searching for roles for your movies, what is one thing that makes an actor stand out from the others?
I'm not a casting director, but I choose people. I like to make selections based on hunch. First of all, bankability. If it's somebody like a Tom Cruise or a Gerard Butler or a Charlize Theron or a Mila Kunis, you know that a certain amount of people are going to put bums on seats straight away. Yes. They're going to go, who's your favorite actor?
Oh, that's hard. Probably, I have to say Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. Yeah. So if there's a Hugh Jackman movie, 50-50, you're going to go see it no matter what it's about. Okay. And if it's a subject matter you like, then you're there for sure. Kind of fix that. Okay. Take 3. And so if it's bankability, popularity. If it's not bankability, you don't have a lot of money, someone that is evocative of that Hugh Jackman or that Mila Kunis or that Charlize Theron, someone that gives you that feeling at a discount price, what I call an Aldi actor. It's not brand name, but gives you that same feeling and you think, wow, they're going to be somebody.
Yes.
Somebody's always nobody until they're discovered. Shia LaBeouf was nobody before Disturbia. Hugh Jackman was nobody before blank. Heath Ledger, blank. Everyone has that one film where they're discovered and people go, oh, Sam Worthington, Avatar, overnight success. No, Sam Worthington, 10 years of hard work that suddenly everybody saw in Avatar.
So what's the next step of getting my Oscar?
Well, once you've done some training, the next step is to go and get yourself some experience. I suggest applying for some short films, doing some extras work on TV, getting into some corporate work, and also submit yourself to more professional roles just so that you can practice your hand at auditioning. And while you're doing some extras work, don't forget to just watch all the professionals on set and learn as much as you can.
What about agents, Lisa? Will I ever need one?
Well, some people don't ever have an agent, but I suggest it is a really good idea, because if you don't have an agent, you're called freelance, but you don't hear about the really good jobs that if you had an agent, you would. To find yourself an agent, I suggest you go to the MEAA website or ask your acting teacher or the person that runs your local theatre company. There are lots of different types of agents, so you'll need to research them and find one that suits you. For example, if you want to be a TV presenter, you don't want to find an agent that only puts you up for things for musical theatre. When looking to get work in other countries like the US and the UK, it is possible, but there are laws and certain conditions that you'll need to abide by, so you'll have to go and research what they are.
Next, you should start auditioning. I know what you're thinking. No! Auditions make me so nervous. So, let's talk with the casting director to see how to tame those nerves and audition right. What are your 3 best pieces of advice for young actors and their parents?
Okay. For young actors and their parents, if you are really, really keen, and if it's about actually working at being an actor and understanding the whole thing, is to continue doing classes. And maybe not just acting classes, maybe singing, maybe dancing, because there's no such thing as, being able to rest on your laurels as an actor. You really do actually have to work all the time. Sometimes doing your classes and doing everything may not get you a job on Neighbours or may not get you a job on television, but it might lead you into something in the future that you want to do. You might become a choreographer, you may become a singing teacher, you may become a music theatre personality. It will set you in good stead for what you want to do further down the track. So that's all I say, is just keep working at it and stay fit. And if you grow up to a certain age and you want to get a tattoo, don't get in a place where it's visible, so we don't want to see it, and piercings and things like that, because that can really hamper, your casting possibilities.
Now remember guys, acting is a really tough gig. Virtually nobody lands a huge role overnight, but every small little role you do get on stage, film or TV will land you one step closer to your dream of Hollywood! We would like to leave you with a final note. To be a great actor, you must love what you do. And remember, safety first. If you don't feel comfortable with something, always speak up.
For more information, go to the Kids Corner on our website. Bye, thespians! We'll be looking out for you on TV.
Yeah, and when you're famous, don't forget the little people.
And the Oscar goes to you!